It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And we are starting a new project today. We're breaking ground in Granite Hills, which is a community in East El Cajon. And this is going to be a spectacular installation. My first shipments of plants have arrived from Waterwise Botanicals. We have the challenge here in Granite Hills of dealing with really extreme conditions and lots of heat, and a client that really loves a tropical look and tropical feel. So we're going to bring that into her with succulents that are tough and are going to be able to survive and thrive in the heat. This little area right here is just going to be rocked. We're going to get rid of these weeds. We are going to lay barrier fabric, and we're going to rock this little piece in. But look at my challenge. I've got this fantastic piece of borrowed landscape here. This is a mid-century modern home with a lot of right angles. It's spectacular. The client isn't interested in a modern or mid-century garden, which I could just come in here and put barrels in and call it a day. But no, she wants something, you know, tapestry-like. But I have this giant white wall on this side and this weighted heavy borrowed landscape over here. And then this is my little rectangular kind of L-shaped design space. So it's going to be really interesting. We are going to be pulling in a lot of soil to create some very dramatic mounding so that we can get 3 to 4 feet of instant gratification in terms of height. I brought in a lot of specimens. This is a garden that will just knock your socks off when it's done, and then moving forward into the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years, it's going to be really spectacular. So super excited to take you on the journey, and we'll just have to see how this all plays out. Alrighty, it's update time. Get it? Update. I hope my blood sugar doesn't plummet while I'm up here, although that would make good TV. Anywho, this is where we are so far. I wanted to show you, we got all of the weeds out. Now Cullen and Hannah are starting in on the fabric, and then I'm coming in behind. I'm starting to drop soil. You know, tomato, 6, half dozen. Do you put the fabric down first, then put dirt on it, or do you put dirt on it and then put the fabric on top of the dirt? You know, it just kind of depends. And this time I felt strongly that this would be the path of least resistance. So we'll see how it goes. That boulder, that granite boulder that's sitting there, we determined it would make a lot more sense to weed fabric around it than to try to move it. It is very heavy. I promised the client that I would do a little vignette here in the corner, so that, because that area, you know, otherwise was going to look like the redheaded stepchild, and I didn't want that. So I just did something very simple. I staged a little bit of mounding. I put a little boulder, little indigenous or native boulder, did a Pilosocereus azuris and some Aloe dorthier and some Aloe rudicope. Then I will, you know, sprinkle some top dressing rock over it and call that a day. So we're going to continue to move forward with the fabric. We're going to end up with 6 to 7 yards of soil in here and probably 30 or so boulders. I would say this area is probably 10 by 25 maybe, so 200 to 250 square feet. So if that gives you any perspective, you can thank me for it. So we've got, Greg, how many yards is this? 6 yards of soil in this space, being very mindful to keep it away from the foundation of the home. You don't want soil against the foundation because that can cause moisture, which is no bueno. So keep your mounding away from the house. I just, you know, I've told you that mounding, there's no real science, or there's not really a prescription or a way to do this. You have to kind of feel your way through it. So don't overthink it. Get your soil in. Then start staging your boulders and then let it kind of open up as you go. So that's what I did. I've created, some peaks and valleys in here. I've got about 29 boulders. This looks so rock heavy right now. It's so funny how this is going to transform once we start rolling the plants in. Remember also that you have soil in your planting cans. So if you feel like you're a little light on soil, remember that you've got that soil to work with too. And you're going to notice when we finish this job, which we hope to be done with end of business tomorrow, that these mounds are going to change. As I start to plant, they are going to start to shift and take on slightly different forms. You want a lot of ebb and you want a lot of flow. So I'm excited. Now we're going to start staging and sinking foundation plants. So this has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity reporting in Granite Hills at the end of day 1 with your succulent tip of the day.